Tech University. Texas Tech hosting Rice. Let's take a look at today's American Campus Community starting lineups. Head coach Mike Rhodes in his third season, head coach of the Rice Owls. Rice, very much like Tech, will go guard heavy, 3 guards and 2 wings to start the game. And there's head coach Chris Beard in his first year. The Red Raiders 6-1 as well. As you look at the Red Raiders starting lineup, basically the same type of look. A little smaller lineup right now for the Red Raiders, but you've got Smith and Livingston. The starting lineup is brought to you by American Campus Communities, where students love living. And there's Kulichov. John, you talked a little bit about him in your scouting report. He can really light it up. A couple of these Rice players really capable of putting big numbers up on the board as we're underway.
Well, he's capable of doing that. He's also a guy that gets inside and gets after it on the boards as well. So does a lot of work there for the Rice Owls.
Rice 6-1 on the season, just like the Red Raiders. Mike Rhodes, in his first 2 years, won 12 games each. His Tech leads the all-time series 63-28. And these teams used to get together twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year when they played in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah, and they haven't played since the 1996 season, and they crammed a couple of games in right at the end of that year. The Red Raiders beat the Owls 3 times in '96, and then the final time these teams played was in the old Southwest Conference tournament there at Reunion Arena in Dallas.
Both teams missed their first field goal attempt. Cashaw with the 3-point attempt for the Owls. Both these teams have been out-rebounding their opponents this season, so should be a challenge for both of them on the boards today. Justin Gray off of the dribble. Does go, and Evans skied for that rebound. He averages 3 rebounds a game.
He'll go up and get it. You know, he's such a good scorer that you don't want him to have the ball all of the time. And that's Marcus Jackson, a guy that missed all of last season with a knee injury and has been a big spark to them coming back, because you know Evans is a guy that can light it up, and Kulichov as well. And with the addition of Jackson certainly helps. And this is what the Red Raiders think they can do, attack the rim. And Justin Gray, a guy who's climbed up in the shooting charts of the Big 12. He's second best field goal percentage shooter in the Big 12 behind Zach Smith. A couple of guys there you can count on almost every night.
That was a great pass to a cutting Justin Gray as well. Jackson, Zach Smith with a rejection. Jackson thought he had an easy look there as he went right to the bucket, but Zach Smith was there. And for Zach, again, we'll see him do a lot. Let's look at some of your keys to the game, John. And one of them is dictate the tempo.
Well, and you want to find out if Rice can guard you for the entire shot clock. That's the point there. And don't turn the ball over, because the Owls need you to do that to kind of jumpstart their offense. On the defensive end, got to get back. You can see that Rice likes to get down the floor and hurry, limit their fouls, because this is a team shooting 30 free throws a game.
Anthony Livingston knocks down the jumper. Interesting comments from Chris Beard yesterday's media availability, talking about as Kulichov kicks it back out. Livingston didn't do much against Incarnate Word offensively, but Beard said after watching the video, he's really impressed with Livingston's ability to, as they were really keying on him defensively, Zach Smith called for the foul. He said Livingston didn't try to do too much against Incarnate Word and tried to find other ways to help offensively.
Well, and I tell you what, happy birthday to Anthony Livingston as well, because today's his 24th birthday. I think hopefully he comes up with a big effort on his birthday. But, yeah, you don't have to score all of the time to help this team, because there are a lot of guys very capable there. And if Livingston's drawing attention, somebody else is going to be available for a good look.
But if you forget how athletic Justin Gray is, that last rebound should remind you. Keenan Evans from the three-point line, free throw line, it doesn't go.
Well, and Rice doing a good job there of keeping Zach Smith off the boards. Cashaw had Zach Penn, could not get inside and try to get the loose ball.
Well, Evans kicks it out to Douglas, but Evans going to be called for the offensive foul. Great look by Evans, but Texas Tech does a very good job defensively, as we see Stevenson and Millinghouse now into the game for Texas Tech, and Thomas and Smith will take a seat.
Red Raiders have a big board in their locker room about drawing charges, and they drew 4 against Incarnate Word. They had 13 for the season, and 4 of them had come in that game, and that's what they think they can do against Rice today. Get set down inside, because the Owls like to drive that ball. You get in a good position outside that arc and pick up the charging foul.
Millinghouse was trying to get to Livingston there along the baseline. Livingston with that nice Pretty little soft jumper from the baseline. He's got 4, and Tech leads it by 3.
Well, birthday boy, good-looking shot. I mean, he can shoot that basketball. It's a pretty shot, and given that opportunity in the short corner, Anthony Livingston can extend that range from in close to outside that arc.
Justin Gray on Kulichov, and we saw Justin Gray shut down one of the guys that shut down Sean Johnson against Incarnate Word. Now Gray got his hand on the loose ball. Kulichov trying to come up with it. Gray comes up with it. Wow, Texas Tech comes out of that scrum with the basketball.
Boy, Chris Beard on the sideline right near all of that action with his hands raised after Justin finally came away with it.
Millinghouse didn't get the 3, but there's the birthday boy Livingston get the rebound. Now he's going to fight hard. Doesn't go. Another battle underneath. Well, these teams are playing hard early as Kulichov kicks it out.
Well, you got to get back in a hurry because here come the Owls with Evans.
Kulichov from deep knocks it down from way beyond the arc. There's a 3 for Kulichov.
Came into the game with 18 made, and he will shoot it from out there. It's a nice shot. A guy that's got international experience, played on a couple of Israeli teams under 18 and under 20, so not fazed by any sort of atmosphere.
What a move off the dribble for Livingston. Don't think he's just a big guy that just settles in down low. He makes a nice move with the basketball.
And you touched on this. Struggled offensively the other night. Did some other things for the Red Raiders, but off to a good start here, and that has to help Chris Beard's team.
Tech leading it by 2 early on. We're nearing the first media timeout. Kulichov kicks it way outside to Evans. Doesn't go. That'll be Texas Tech basketball. So we will take a break. Texas Tech leads it by 2 early. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
Points a game and under 2 blocks a game. He's made a good impact on the court, but he wants to make maybe a bigger impact off of the court. He was a pre-med major when he got to Texas Tech, but as soon as he had knee injuries in his left knee early on in his freshman year, he had to have microfracture surgery on that left knee, and that ended his freshman season. He knew after that he wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon and help people that had similar injuries that he did. He obviously has continued his path to getting that degree, and I talked to Coach yesterday, and Coach said, hey, when I'm older and I have knee problems, I know who exactly my doctor is going to be. Guys, his parents have been a huge impact on his life and his career in basketball, and they are here this afternoon. Guys.
Evans knocks down the 3 after the steal on the other end by Kulichov. Matt Temple has entered the game for Texas Tech. A couple of different players on the floor for Rice. Cashaw, Evans, Kulichov, now Letcher, Ellis, and Lott on the floor as well for Rice. Chad Lott and Marquez, Letcher, Ellis.
Bit of an unforced turnover by the Red Raiders there as Devin Thomas got underneath the bucket and stepped out of bounds on the pass across court. But Rice has 3 buckets in the game so far. All 3 of them are from outside that 3-point line. They average 9 makes a game, and their first 3 here this afternoon in the first 5.5 minutes have been 3-pointers.
Yeah, it was interesting the other day at practice. A good give and go there to Cashaw. He knocks it down. Kulichov with the assist.
Well, and that's what Rice does, particularly on out-of-bounds type plays as well. But they set that up with a nice play where you get the ball right at the free throw line, and if you are a bit over-aggressive in a man defense, they catch you with a back door.
Stevenson for 3, knocks it up. We talked about the Rice 3s. Tech was really emphasizing that in practice the other day. Every made basket, they were saying that will be a 3 by Rice, just if you don't get back defensively.
Well, and get on them. You can't just leave them there left alone, and that's what they do. They don't need much opportunity, but they're in the right spot at the right time.
Letcher Ellis missed, but Smith trying to kick it out, but it was run down by Cashaw. You see Gio McLean, Justin Gray, and Devin Thomas ready to come in. And wow, nice move and finish by Letcher Ellis. So Rice back up on top. Beard talked a lot all week about how Rice was good on the road. They've won 3 games on the road. Certainly improved very much this third year rather, Mike Rhodes.
Well, they opened up their season on the road and won that ball game, and they're not intimidated at all and playing in front of somebody else's crowd.
Evans tried to get that down low to Zach Smith. There's Letcher Ellis with the putback.
Well, so much attention on Kulichov coming down the court, everybody following him to the rim, and when that ball rolled off, Letcher Ellis on the follow. Easy for a big guy to go up and ram that ball home.
Livingston battling down low. Millinghouse goes to the basket. How about that? And he'll get 1 to go with it. Yeah, that's what he meant to do.
Well, it talked so much about him the other night, just being a guy at 6'2" and about 200 pounds who's just absolutely strong and fearless. Taking that ball inside. Look, 4 Owls are around him when he gets in there and goes up and powers that ball in.
Lott call for the foul. You mentioned this the other night during the Incarnate Word, just the strength of Millinghouse. He just is such a strong player. Makes things like that happen. So he has a chance to close the lead to 1, and he does. McLean on the floor at Millinghouse will take a seat. So for Rice, see Adams now is in the game, and he brings it up the floor for the Owls. Kulachov, Adams, Lott, Jackson, and Meyer on the floor. Meyer also just first action. Austin Meyer, the freshman out of Pflugerville. Kick it outside. Rice with the shot clock down to 4. Adams off the dribble. Shoots the air ball. That'll be a shot clock violation for the Owls.
Great defense by the Red Raiders, and got Adams there. He was trying to score there from behind the rim. He had a horrible angle to try and get that shot up as the shot clock was running down, and just could not find a way to get that ball to go.
So Tech has a chance to go back up on top here as Thomas brings it up the floor. We've seen Tech with a lot of substitutions again today. They've been doing that all season long, and it seems to wear the opposing teams down as we get in the second half. Livingston with the spin. Zach Smith fighting for the rebound. See, that'll be Rice basketball. We will take a break. The Owls lead the Red Raiders by 1. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox. The floor, and he is second to his teammate, Zach Smith, who leads the league in field goal percentage. Zach shooting right at 65%. That's a look at your Ford League leaders. Visit your local Texas Ford dealers today during the Ford year-end event and see why Ford is the best in Texas.
I think a couple of things that shows you is that the Red Raiders work extremely hard to get good shots, and it's certainly paid off for Zach Smith and Justin Gray. But here's Rice continuing to do what they do, and that's attack you back door when you play that aggressive defense. And Chad Lott gets to the line. They got him underneath, got him away from Justin Gray for just a moment. And Gray trying to get back in position, fouling Lott and putting him on the line.
Gray's first foul of the afternoon. He'll go over sit with Coach Chris Ogden. Now Keenan Evans back on the floor for Devin Thomas. Lott is a 59% free throw shooter, but he made the first. He knocks down the second, so Lott with 2 points. Letcher Ellis leads the Owls with 4. He made a couple of really athletic plays as we see Thomas Brandsma now on the floor as well for Texas Tech. Tech with Evans, Brandsma, McLean, Smith, and Livingston. The 5 on the floor as we have the shot clock down to 10. Livingston for 3 doesn't go, and there's Evans again with a rebound. You talked about that earlier. He will play down low, and he'll come up with a couple of rebounds. He averages 3 a game.
Well, Red Raiders very conscious of the fact that Rice likes to get down the floor and shoot early in that shot clock, and on shot attempts like that, long outside attempt, a 3-pointer a moment ago by Livingston. A lot of Red Raiders already back up the floor, and not much help there to rebound underneath.
Jackson missed the 3 for Rice. Rice now 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Justin Gray ready to re-enter the game. Evans off of the dribble over several pairs of Rice hands, and I think Brandsma called for the foul down low.
Well, and you can see there, you can count all 5 Owls underneath when Keenan got inside and missed a shot. Livingston and Gio McLean already back down the floor to defend for the Red Raiders to stop the Owls and their very quick transition offense.
14 fouls now for the Red Raiders. So you see Keenan Evans will apply full court pressure here on Evans. He brings the ball up. Rice with the 3-point lead. They've led by as many as 4. That's their largest lead of the afternoon. Tech has led by 3 points at one time. They created a play there for Evans, but he comes up short. They tried to get the steal, and he'll get the foul instead.
Well, and that's just a mental error by Marcus Evans, because I tell you what, of all of the numbers of Marcus Evans, as he'll take a seat after picking up that foul. 39 career games as a Rice Owl. He's been in double figures in 38 of the 39. I mean, that is consistency. Had 31 the other night against Houston Baptist, a team the Red Raiders have seen. But this is a good player, a name to remember, Marcus Evans.
That's his second foul, so he'll sit with 2. Find out the way you had that drawn up to get him into early foul trouble.
Well, but you'll take it on that Red Raider bench.
Yes.
I mean, that's the key to Rice basketball, and he's sitting down with a pair of fouls.
Evans goes right to the bucket over Kulichov. Nice job by Keenan, his first bucket of the afternoon, and pulls the Red Raiders back to within 1. Adams on the floor now, replacing Evans. McLean got his hand on that ball, didn't knock it away though. Adams is going to be called for the offensive foul. Yeah. Justin Gray did a nice job. Adams driving along the baseline, tried to kick it out to Letcher Ellis, but Justin Gray, nice job. Second offensive foul now drawn by the Red Raiders. So Devin Thomas back on the floor. McLean will take a seat.
Well, and that's what you're trying to do. You've got him coming down that baseline trying to pass that basketball, but Justin Gray is set right there. And, you know, that's not going to show up in a stat sheet of a foul drawn. But down by 1, you got the basketball back. They did not get to shoot. You had an opportunity to go in front. Keenan misses, and there's Kulichov again. I mean, he does a little bit of everything for the Owls.
Devin Thomas tried to get the steal, but the off of his thigh and out of bounds.
They are letting them play. Clearly letting them play today.
There was a collision there with Thomas. Take another look. Got the passing lane there, and this off of Jackson's thigh, as the official pointed out, right in front of Chris Beard, who had a good look at it. 9.5 minutes to go here in this one. It's been close, and Chris Beard talked all week about this is really one of the best Rice teams he's seen in a long time. Livingston gets the ball down low over Letcher Ellis. A nice little baby hook. Livingston with 8 points. Rice has not scored a point in the last 2.5 minutes. It's been more than 3 since they've had a field goal. Letcher Ellis kicks away out to Adams. Justin Gray comes down with a rebound. Adams hearing from the students here. And it looks like Millinghouse might have come up. I don't know if it's ankle.
Well, and what happened there when Anthony Livingston got knocked down, he rolled up on Shawdell Millinghouse because you had a pair of Red Raiders down at the same time, and that opened up a shot in the corner for Rice. Watch this as you get the drive there, steps on to Livingston, and he rolls up Millinghouse, and there's a wide open shot in the corner. So that's not a good thing for the Red Raiders, who already have a fairly short bench over there with no Odiase or Ross.
Odiase and Ross both coming back from injuries. Both of those guys rehabbing there. Take a look at Aaron Ross, the leading scorer for the Red Raiders over there in street close. Tech leads it by 1. So Stevenson back on the floor as Millinghouse will take a seat on the bench. Stevenson, nice ball fake. Jackson pulls down the rebound. Kulichov off the glass, doesn't go, and Livingston pulls down the rebound. Nice move by Kulichov. He doesn't get the finish. Texas Tech worked a lot this week on just limiting turnovers. Livingston for 3. Got it. Leads at 4.
Again, all set up by the penetration of Keenan Evans. Got down inside. That draws a crowd. You kick the ball back up top, and Livingston is just standing there outside the three-point line all by himself.
Livingston with 11 now in double figures. Adams for 3. Knocks it down. That ends a 3+ minute scoreless drought for the Owls.
And again, 7 buckets today made by the Rice Owls. 4 of those are 3-pointers.
Jackson with 2 of those. He has 6 points. Cuts the lead back to 1. There's Livingston again. Now ball fakes. Got Douglas in the air. He draws the foul, and he gets the bucket. And he'll go to the free throw line when we come back. Texas Tech leads it by 3 with a chance to add 1 more. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
Has 13 points, has the 1 3-pointer, and he'll be at the free throw line for the Red Raiders, trying to extend that lead up to 4. But 24 years old today, may get that total in the first half, the way he's shooting the ball.
13 points. Now 14, and you saw a couple of rebounds. He's 6 of 10 from the floor. See, Temple will come in, and Livingston will get a chance to take a little breather with Tech up by 4. Tech now with McLean, Thomas, Brandsma, Temple, and Stevenson on the floor.
A lot of different faces play a lot for the Red Raiders, who are in a 2-3 zone now as Rice comes up the court this time. And you can work that basketball a little bit quicker than a zone defense can move. And Rice able to get that rebound as well to get another opportunity. But Chris Beard plays a lot of people. 7 different Red Raiders play more than 20 minutes a game.
Cashaw missed the 3, and Douglas pulled down the rebound. Another opportunity here for the Owls. Kulichov trying to make it happen himself, uses his body. It doesn't go, and Temple fights for the rebound.
Not sure that Kulichov, when he kind of ducked his shoulder and got inside, didn't travel a bit, but no call there. And it's just one of those nights where, for both teams, that ball just will not go down easily.
That was a nifty little move there by Stevenson, but it's in and out. He doesn't get the bucket. So again, Rice with a chance to cut the lead to 2-1 here on this trip, with Tech up by 4, the largest lead for both teams. Both teams have led by 4 today. Another long-range 3 doesn't go. That one put up by Jackson. Jackson's 2 of 4 today from beyond the arc. Rice not afraid, John, to put that thing up right from long range.
No, they take a lot of three-pointers, and they have not gotten to the free throw line that much tonight. That's what really helps them offensively. So the Red Raiders, for the most part, doing a great job of not getting into foul trouble and putting Rice at the line.
Wow, Brandsma does a nice job of getting Cashaw off his feet, and he knocks down the jumper. That's just gravy when you get Brandsma to come in and get early bucket like that.
Yeah, he's not clearly a guy that you're counting on for points, but he got a good look there. And
there's your travel. Lott travels that time, so another turnover for the Owls. That's their 6th of the afternoon, and Livingston back on the floor with Evans. Justin Gray also on the floor.
Rice has doubled up the Red Raiders in turnovers with 6. Tech has 3, and they really feel like they've got to keep that turnover total below 8 today to be in a position to beat this Rice team.
Rice leads it. Tech leads it by 6. Rice.
Stevenson had gone over and sat down on the bench thinking he was coming out with the sub, and then Chris Beard goes over and yanks him up and gets him back in the ball game.
So now, again, a brand new look here. What a great look down to Thomas. Kicks it back out to Livingston. Didn't get it, but he's going to get the foul to get 3 free throws.
I think that's Letcher Ellis, who ran past Livingston as he was taking that 3-pointer wide open when your 6'8" center is out front and Devin Thomas is underneath with the basketball. But Letcher Ellis, big mistake there to run by and pick up the foul, hitting the elbow of Livingston as he let that 3-pointer fly.
Livingston makes the first. He is now 2 of 2 from the free throw line today. Now 15 points. His season/career high is 28. And we got that in Cancun.
Yes, he did. And by the way, those shoes he's wearing, the brightly colored shoes that he and Justin Gray are wearing, are shoes they were given down in Cancun at that tournament. That looks like a Caribbean type
it's got a good
shoe, doesn't it?
Caribbean feel to it. And he makes all 3 free throws. So Anthony Livingston with 17 points in the first half as McLean comes back in. Thomas will sit. Brandsma back on the floor. Tech now leading it by 9. Red Raiders on an 8-0 run.
He's 6 of 10 shooting the ball. The rest of the team is 5 of 12. So I'd say at this point, keep feeding the birthday guy.
Rice really has had a couple of long scoring droughts. They had one of 3 minutes plus earlier. Now it's been over 2.5 minutes since they've scored. Tech on a 15-3 and an 8-0 run to open up a 9-point lead. Trying to make something happen. Cashaw, the ball fake, knocks down the baseline jumper. Rice really has struggled a little bit with Evans, been sitting a lot with the 2 fouls. Now Evans back on the floor.
And Cashaw's a guy that averages nearly 9 points a ball game. But that shot fake, if you're a good shot fake guy with the ball in your hands, you can get a lot of good opportunities, because just that movement, and you saw a moment ago, got Keenan Evans off his feet, sailed past, and Cashaw knocked down the shot.
Cashaw with 4 points. Jackson leads the way for the Owls with 6. Cashaw knocked that off of Brandsma, so it'll be Rice basketball. So good defense there by the Owls. Fourth turnover of the afternoon for Texas Tech. So Rice with a chance to cut into the 7-point lead. Kulichov has been somewhat silent as well. You got to give a lot of credit to that to Justin Gray and House Evans from really deep, and he's going to get one to go with it. Wow. He's so far beyond the arc there.
Thought he did a good job here. Keenan Evans really doesn't get into him very much, but Evans did a great job of selling the contact and getting on the floor, and the officials blow the whistle.
So quickly now Evans with 6 points has a chance to add number 7 here, and he does. Evans, a 75% free throw shooter.
Boy, and set a Rice freshman record a year ago when he scored 685 points, average over 21 points a game, and I'm not sure the Owls expected that, but he was awfully good and got a lot of attention.
Rice now on a 6-0 run. Evans drives the baseline. And Letcher Ellis, he's made a couple of big plays this afternoon. He has 3 rebounds. Rice with a chance to tie or pull within 1. Evans for 3. Comes up short. And Livingston comes away. Livingston and Cashaw fighting for that rebound. Livingston comes up with it. He's got 3 on the afternoon. So it's just been a little bit of a disjointed game, hasn't it? Kind of had a strange feel.
Well, nobody's really gotten into a rhythm because it seems a bit frantic at times as both teams have wound up using a lot of shot clock.
Knocked away for Gray. Good news for Texas Tech. See Millinghouse checking into the game, so clearly nothing serious on the foot injuries. You see him flexing it over there along the scorer's table. So again, Rice for the chance to tie this one up. A great give to Evans. He's not able to finish, and then Kulichov fouled on the offensive glass. So we'll take a break. Tech leads it by 3. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
Out here.
Check online or the ticket office on Monday. Let's go back to Adam Doyle.
Yeah, guys, in that timeout, Coach was saying the reason Livingston has 10 shots so far, twice as many as anyone else on the team, said he's creating things for himself on the offensive end. He's not playing one-on-one basketball. He's cutting within the offense, even in the late shot clock, and finding opportunities. And on the defensive end, he said, guys, simply 2 is their best player. This is a real basketball game, and you really have to be locked in on every single possession. And I think he got a hold of his crew in that last timeout, guys.
Ball knocked away from Kulichov. See Austin Meyer back on the floor for the Owls. Just over 3 minutes to go here is, again, Evans back on the floor, and Brandsma will sit. Brandsma with 2 points. Keenan Evans back on the floor. Evans with 2 points, a couple rebounds, and a couple of assists today.
Interesting mix for Chris Beard here, where you've got Devin Thomas up top. Millinghouse and Keenan Evans are also in the game with Livingston and Justin Gray. So some real quickness there. And Rice just a great job of anticipating a Red Raider kind of pick and roll to Justin Gray and took it away.
Another turnover for the Red Raiders. Jackson for 3. Doesn't go. Meyer fighting for the rebound. They're calling the foul on Millinghouse. That's Millinghouse first foul. Tech team foul number 6.
We've talked a lot about the Red Raiders trying to get back down the floor from the offensive end when they shoot the basketball, when they shoot it. But when Rice puts that ball up, Chris Beard wants all 5 Red Raiders on the boards going after the ball there. Millinghouse was underneath, but the big kid, Austin Meyer, over the top of him, and Millinghouse got called for the foul.
Jackson goes to the basket. Meyer flies in for the rebound. Gives Rice another opportunity to lot. Meyer fighting again. Boy, Meyer active underneath. Misses the putback, and Livingston comes away with the rebound. A lot of credit to Meyer on that trip down for Rice. He made a lot of things happen. He just couldn't get the ball in the basket.
Yeah, I mean, we've said that already. It seems like at times there's just a lid on top of that rim.
Shot clock nearing 10 seconds here for the Red Raiders. Trying to get it down to Livingston. Again, 10 shots from the field today. Kicks it back out. Shot clock down to 3. Thomas got to make something happen. Brandsma at the buzzer. Knocks it down. It's a 3.
I think the officials want to make certain he got that shot off, but you saw that ball
in the first half, and the lead back up to 6.
Well, and Chris Beard likes him because he's been with him at every stop, it seems, along his coaching career, whether he played or redshirted. But a guy that kind of understands what Chris Beard's doing offensively, and he likes that.
Kulichov thought he might try to create something with the dribble. Got himself in a little bit of trouble. The kicked out shot clock down to 10. Kulichov been fairly quiet, but he does take it to the rim, and he gets the roll.
Got around Livingston, got into the lane, and able to put it up, but he's an aggressive guy and just keeps working hard.
He has 5 points. You mentioned he's blue-collar type. You see him working hard on both ends of the floor. Livingston for 3, doesn't go. And there's Kulichov with the rebound. He has 5 rebounds to go along with his 5 points. So under a minute and a half to go here. Rice run a little weave. They kick it out to Cashaw. Jackson thought about the 3. There's Kulichov in the corner. Knocks that one down. He has 8. And the lead cut back to 1.
Well, and Rice a good job. Good, patient, offensive effort. They get the ball. If you can get that ball, penetrate into the paint with the basketball, that's going to draw the defense. And in that occasion, they're able to do that and then get it out to Kulichov, who is a very good three-point. I mean, the guy's shooting better than 50% from outside the arc, and he's open. And still more than half of the made buckets by Rice have been three-pointers. Now, can they keep that up throughout the ball game? Or do you adjust some to try and take that away because they have been better from outside that three-point line than inside?
6 3-pointers this afternoon for Rice. Getting down low to Livingston. The play they drew up, and Livingston fights his way, gets the basket, and he'll get a free throw. 19 points for Livingston in the first half.
Well, and you got to keep feeding him. Now, they do come over and try to double team him here. Watch as he tried to turn. You had Cashaw coming over to try and help Meyer, but just too much strength by Livingston, able to turn inside and go up left-handed and score.
So Livingston with 19 points. Tech with 13 field goals and 7 assists today. Does miss the free throw, so he is 4 or 5 from the line. Tech 5 of 7 this afternoon from the line. Nicely drawn out play there by Coach Beard as Rice run a little clock here as we near the 30-second mark. Trying to get it to Meyer. Meyer mishandles the pass. Tech on the move. They got numbers 3-on-1, but Kulichov got his hand in the passing lane and knocked it away.
And that's bad for the Red Raiders. You've got a 3-on-1 break going there, and Kulichov makes a great play to tip that ball out of bounds. But you had Thomas, Justin Gray out front running down the court. An opportunity to score easily, and now Rice is going to make it more difficult on you with just 27 seconds remaining in this first half.
Shot clock at 27.4 overall, so basically Tech can run this down and play for the final shot here of the half. Millinghouse back on the floor for Texas Tech. Tech has Evans, Millinghouse, Livingston, and Gray on the floor along with Devin Thomas. Evans pulls it back. We'll see what they do here for the final shot of the half. Evans pulls back, doesn't get it to go. Justin Gray fights for the rebound, puts it back up, doesn't go. And that will end the first half. A long-range heave by Cashaw doesn't go, and the Red Raiders will go into intermission, leading it by 3 over the Owls. Tech with a couple of chances there to add another bucket. And Adam talked to Coach Rhodes. Let's talk to Adam right now.
He's talking to Coach Rhodes out of the half. He said he liked what he saw in the first half, making those 6 threes, but he said a lot of that was because of the way our offense works. Back cuts, as you said, John, but drive and kick type of offense. He also said, hey, we won the battle on the boards. If we can do that in the second half, we're going to be right in this game at the end.
Nice spin move by Evans. Didn't get it to go, though. Douglas tried to be there for the putback, but couldn't get it done. So Tech with the same starting 5, and Zach Smith says, yeah, I'm not going to be scoreless in the second half.
Well, Zach, one of the Red Raiders starters who did not score in the opening 20 minutes. Devin Thomas didn't either, and Keenan Evans and Justin Gray each had 1 bucket apiece. So all of that starting load carried by Anthony Livingston's 19 in the first half. And the Red Raiders were actually outscored by the Rice starters, 25-23. And wow, this is the range of Marcus Evans. This is why you just can't step away from the guy.
Evans now in double figures with 10. Cashaw, Evans, Kulichov, Douglas, and Jackson on the floor right now for the Owls.
And that 31 points the Red Raiders held Rice to in that first half was their lowest total of the entire. This is a team averaging 86 points a game and 31 in the first half. They've not seen that number in a while.
Shot clock down to 10. Evans just lowers his shoulder, goes through with his left hand off of the glass, and Tech back up by 4. Tech seems to be you know, maybe the message from Coach Beard got through to some of the starters there at halftime.
Well, he clearly told them in their shoot-around this morning they had got to be ready for this ball game. You cannot come in here overlooking Rice in any way.
Kulachov for 3. He's got 11.
Both Rice buckets here in the second half have come from that same spot right near the Rice bench, and that's way out there outside that three-point line.
Kulachov, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Livingston, who has 19 points, got those 19 in the first half. Shot clock again, down to 9. Thomas spins, goes underneath, off the glass, and in.
Well, a couple of your buckets here in this half have been by your guards driving the ball inside. Keenan Evans on the previous trip, and there's Devin Thomas, who is so quick. Not the biggest guy, not the strongest, but absolutely lightning fast and able to get inside, fadeaway left-hander off the glass.
Jackson drives to the basketball. He had both Gray and Smith there. He kicks it out wide open. Cashaw, he knocks down a 3. Rice now with 10 threes today.
Well, and that's what they do. That's above their average of 9 a game. And there's Anthony Livingston knocking down his second three-pointer of the ball game.
So Livingston now with 22. My apologies. Rice just with 9. So that ties where they've been coming into the season in this game. Livingston 22, 8 of 13 from the floor. Kulachov drives to the bucket. He'll go to the free throw line as he draws the foul. I think we've seen both teams kind of seeing a little difference here in the second half. Rice really early on trying to get Kulachov and Evans involved in the offense.
Well, those are their guys. And Kulachov coming off a game in which he had 35 against Incarnate Word and 13 rebounds. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything. And missing at the free throw line is absolutely rare for him. Led the Conference USA in free throw shooting a year ago at 86% and came into this game at 86% again this year. You do not want him on the line.
Made the second.
If you're a Red Raider.
Lead back to 2. I think the message received. Chris Beard's been talking all week about how good this Rice team is, and I think we're seeing it this afternoon. Well, Cashaw got his hand in there and tried to knock it away. And it will be Rice basketball.
Oh, no.
I called a foul.
I thought he had called a foul on Justin Gray for maybe pushing Cashaw out of the way to prevent him from getting to the ball.
That's Gray's. It's like Gray's first foul. Livingston and Thomas will sit. And Temple and Millinghouse back on the floor. So it's good to see Millinghouse back out. No effects from the first half injury. So the lead at 2. Rice with a chance to take the lead or tie it here on this trip. The way they've been hitting the threes. Kulachov. Evans got in the passing lane, and Jackson was the intended target, but Evans comes up with a steal. He draws the foul.
Tried to drop that ball off to Justin Gray, but everybody trying to converge on the rim and actually threw it past his teammate here, but a good break for the Red Raiders at Letcher Ellis, I believe, the guy reaching in from behind to foul Keenan.
It's Letcher Ellis' second foul. Gray's foul that last trip was his second, and there's another foul. That one on Jackson. So Millinghouse will go to the free throw line. It's Jackson's first foul of the afternoon.
Something you forget about Jackson, because we've talked so much about Marcus Evans and Igor Kulachov, is that prior to last season, which he missed because of a preseason knee injury, he had led Conference USA in three-point shooting. So you've got 3 excellent outside shooters on that Rice team.
Chad Lott enters the game for the Owls, and now Thomas Brandsma will come in for Texas Tech, and Gray will sit. So Millinghouse, a chance to put Tech back up by 4. Tech has led by as many as 9 here in this one.
Millinghouse had 14 the other night against Incarnate Word, which included 3 of 4 at the line. He played really well in that game.
Evans from deep, knocks it down, cuts the lead to 1. Evans with 13. He's averaging 22.6. Temple came out and set the screen on Evans. Opens it up for Keenan Evans. Texas Tech tried to keep control of that basketball, and the officials will confer. We're going to take a break. The Red Raiders lead it by 1. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox. The court gestures, Robert Giovanetti, John Harris, Adam Doyle with you here this afternoon. Here in the second half, John Kulichev with 4 points and Marcus Evans with 6. So they have 10 of Rice's 13 points here in the second half.
Red Raiders going to pressure him and force the turnover.
Get it to Evans, so Millinghouse with the steal. Evans with the finish. Tech back up by 3. That's one thing Millinghouse can really provide to you when he can apply that defensive pressure. So now Millinghouse out on Evans, man-to-man. Bransma got caught on the pick by Letcher Ellis. Letcher Ellis with the spin.
Whoa.
Wow, off the glass.
I think he shot that ball from his waist.
Letcher Ellis has had some impressive plays today.
They got the Red Raiders in a switch that time, and you got Letcher Ellis on Bransma in the size advantage, and he took him right down inside, and nobody there to help, and he's able to get that bucket close in.
Millinghouse kicks it to Temple right at the free throw line. At the elbow, knocks it down. And the lead back up to 3 more. When Temple can come out and do that, that helps you out a lot.
Well, and we've seen Bransma get 5 in that first half. Right? I thought Temple had drawn the charge.
I did too. Letcher Ellis and Temple with the collision. They call the block on Temple. Take another look. Gray will come back on the floor.
How is it that Temple was not set? I think Rice got the advantage there, although Letcher Ellis was holding his knee while he was on the floor.
Cashel back on the floor for Rice.
Oh, they let Ellis get loose underneath there for a moment.
Evans stolen by Evans. Evans on Evans, and Keenan says, I'm going to go the entire way off the glass, and in. He got the steal on one side and the finish on the other.
Well, he's come out really strong here in the second half after getting only 1 bucket in the first half. Red Raiders are going to have that.
Evans with 8 now. Keenan Evans with 8 for the Red Raiders. Kulichev for 3. Got it. That's 10 now for Rice. I can't keep track of the Rice. That's actually 11. They're 11 of 20 from beyond the arc.
Well, and that's kept them in this game. I mean, Kulichev quick on the shot and was right on
Millinghouse. Millinghouse now with 7.
I believe letting Lott know that he can't guard him as they run back down the floor, but still a long way to go.
Wow.
And that's a good shooter there.
Evans from really long distance. And there's Lott with the putback.
And Lott's going to tell Millinghouse that I was underneath scoring that time.
This thing is heating up now. Tech up by 2. What Millinghouse tried to get it to Gray with the no look. Little miscommunication.
Well, and what you don't want to have happen is start all this individual play and get away from your team play. But Marcus Evans driving inside, stripped by Keenan. He's just going to take it all the way. That's 1-on-3. You got help coming. But Keenan's strong enough and able to hang in the air over Kulichev and getting that one to go.
Livingston leads the way with 22 for Tech. Kulichev has 15 for the Owls. I mentioned Kulichev with 35 the other night for Rice. Slowing it down a little bit. Chance to tie or take the lead. The threes have been plentiful for the Owls. Good pass by Kulichev to Letcher Ellis. Letcher Ellis will go to the free throw line.
Well, and you had Livingston on Kulichev, and a little bit of the size advantage is for you, but Kulichev's a little bit quicker than Livingston. And then underneath, Letcher Ellis able to get inside of Justin Gray, and Kulichev recognized that, got him the ball, and Justin's over the back. Now, he didn't get the bucket, got to make a pair of free throws, but he was in great position.
3 fouls now for Justin Gray, so he'll take a seat, and Zach Smith will come back on the floor. Letcher Ellis, a 57% free throw shooter. Let's go back to Adam.
Yeah, guys, Coach Beer just leaned over to his bench and kind of gave one of those 2 hands kind of towards the floor, said, guys, keep your composure. Play the 3-point line, keep your composure, settle this game down, don't get too antsy.
So Letcher Ellis makes them both and ties it up. And you know, that's a good point that Adam makes, because this game has started to get a little frenetic. You see little maybe mouthy back and forth with some of the guys, and so that's good for Beard to say, hey, let's just settle down. We've got 13+ minutes to go here. Tied at 53. Temple gets it down low to Zach Smith. Boy, Lexer Ellis right over the top. Goodness.
Literally.
Fletcher Ellis already thought he was binged up a little bit, but that can't help. And that's a long way up and down. Zach Smith will go to the free throw line.
That's over the top of a 6'8" player. Yeah, that's way up and way down.
And Zach Smith on the free throw line makes the first. Fletcher Ellis 6'7". Gray back on the floor, and Temple out. So Zach Smith with 3 points. Kulichov back on the floor, and Fletcher Ellis leaves for Rice. Fletcher Ellis now with 3 fouls.
And part of a prep school team down in Florida at Montverde that was a national championship team. So used to success there. Good player for the Owls.
Ransmo back on the floor, and Justin Gray will sit. So Gray came in for that second free throw. So Tech again with a full court pressure. Thomas and Stevenson in the backcourt. Evans and Kulichov bringing it up for the Owls. Tech leading it by 2. 12.5 minutes to go. Closing in on that. Yeah, Evans trying to do this by himself, isn't he?
Stevenson on him is slightly taller at 6'5", but Jackson can shoot it as well, and we know this guy can.
Kulichov, as shot clock is expiring. Wow, and he gets the bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line. That is with the shot clock just about to expire. So Kulichov now with 17.
Well, and at the end of that shot clock with the switches that had taken place, you got Kulichov at 6'5", 210, or looks bigger than that, on Devin Thomas at 6 feet, about 175. Big size advantage there, able to take the smaller Red Raider guard inside and complete that three-point play.
So Rice takes the lead. Tech led by 3 at the half. They led by as many as 9, but now the Owls on top by 1. We're near the 12-minute mark. And the media timeout forthcoming. Shot clock down to 5. Thomas, Stevenson for 3. Got it! Tech back up on top.
Big shot by a guy that was a 2-time junior college All-American, his second 3 of the game, and the Red Raiders absolutely needed that.
Stevenson now is 6, as you mentioned, both from 3-point. So Tech back up on by 2. Kulichov off the dribble over Stevenson, knocks it down. Kulichov is white hot right now. He's got 20.
I'm surprised you didn't mention born in Russia. He was red hot.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from that.
Political references.
Zach Smith whips the pass down to Devin Thomas. Thomas off of the glass. Shot clock at 8. See what Stevenson can do here off the spin. Doesn't even draw iron, and so now the Owls on the move. Get it down low to Jackson. There's Kulichov on the other side. Now you'll say he's red hot. He's got 3 there. Kulichov with 23 and the lead back to 3 for Rice.
He's throwing it in regardless of where he is on the floor. Able to drive inside. He's a guy that can score at every level. He can take it inside. He can hurt you at the line, and he can clearly hurt you outside that 3-point line. I mean, this is one of those games where you might break out a special defense on him. I mean, you got to stay with him. 15
points in the second half of Kulichov. Livingston knocks down the jump. I believe that was 2. So we'll take a break. 10:33 left to go in this one. Texas. Odiase at practice. They're very involved in practice. And after they do the rehab, they're engaged and staying involved in what's going on the floor, and that'll serve them well when they both come back, hopefully very soon for both of them.
Well, and I tell you what, Chris Beard, I mean, he encourages them and demands of them on that bench to help their teammates on the floor, remind them what they're supposed to be doing when they're on that end, so they know.
Zach Smith with the rejection. 3-on-2 for the Red Raiders. Tech will pull back out. Down low to Gray on the baseline. Nice defensive effort. Goes to Gray's now on Kulichov defensively. And Rice really active offensively.
Well, and Rice did a great job defensively there because the Red Raiders had the numbers. 3-on-2 break, and you force Zach Smith to bring that ball back outside, and Justin Gray winds up missing a shot. So big play by Rice defensively.
That's a great job there, too, by Livingston, and Gray defensively as Kulichov was cutting towards the basket. They got in the way and stole the pass. Livingston with 25. Kulichov with 23 for Rice.
Well, Kulichov and Marcus Evans together have 35. Anthony Livingston and Keenan Evans of the Red Raiders have 34. So you've got a couple of key components for each team that's carrying the load. I think Kulichov looks a little bit tired on the defensive end, but offensively get that ball in his hand and it's a different story.
The sixth rebound of the game, that last rebound. There'll be a foul called on Keenan Evans. We'll take a break. We're tied at 61. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
Being a part of...
Come see the Red Raiders play Longwood, and then they start conference play at the end of this month on the road at Iowa State. So we're back to action. Evans has been a little quiet lately, but he has 13. It's been a lot of Kulichov here in the second half, and Letcher Ellis knocks down the three. He's got 11.
Well, and that's the 13th three-pointer by Rice here this afternoon. They're 13 of 24 on threes. That's kept them in the ball game. That's why they've got a three-point advantage at the moment, but they have just shot the ball remarkably well from beyond the arc.
Livingston for three, and he gets fouled by Letcher Ellis.
And for Letcher Ellis, that's his fourth foul. First in the game to pick up his fourth foul. Keenan Evans and Justin Gray for the Red Raiders. And Gray defending Kulichov on that last offensive possession for Rice. Each have 3 fouls. So as we get later into this game, foul trouble starts to become more and more important.
So Livingston will shoot three, makes the first. He has 26 points now. I thought it was funny, Letcher Ellis, the only guy within 15 feet of Livingston. He was wondering if that foul was on him.
Well, remember in the first half, he ran past Livingston on a three-point attempt on the other end, hit him on the arm, and also put Livingston on the line there.
So Douglas will come back in the game, and Letcher Ellis will sit with 4 fouls. So Livingston with a chance to finish off the three-point play and tie his career high. He has 27. Now 28 on his birthday, and he ties it up.
Boy, and Corey Douglas almost a match of Letcher Ellis, who has gone to the bench. Both of them about 6'7", 6'8", around 200 pounds. Just long, athletic guys that can do a lot of things all over the floor, as these two can for the Owls.
Tied at 64. In the 8-minute mark. Rice running a little weave there. Boy, Evans he's trying to kick it out to Cashaw. Jackson for three. Now Tech on the move. Evans waiting for that a little early. If he had it, he's wide open. Zach Smith drives to the bucket, and he'll draw the foul. And again, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Zach Smith will be shooting free throws. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox.
For the first time since the old Southwest Conference postseason basketball tournament back in 1996. All of the other games before today were members of the Southwest Conference. Tech leads that series 63 wins to 28. And in that last meeting back in 1996, boy, some memorable names in Red Raider basketball were in double figures. Corey Carr, Jason Sasser, Coy Smith, Darvin Ham, Tony Battie had 9 in that game. Red Raiders won at 68-53. I don't think 68's going to be enough this afternoon to win this game.
Zach Smith knocks them both down. Let's go back to Adam.
Yeah, guys, in that timeout, Coach was really pleased with that last offensive possession. He said, you guys moved the ball 4 times. You've got to have that every single possession. He said, on the defensive end, this is the biggest test of discipline that we've had all year. You have to be disciplined. No silly fouls in the last 7 minutes of this game. We cannot afford them.
Cashaw missed a three. It'll remain Rice basketball. Tech's done a very good job protecting the basketball. Just 8 turnovers. I believe 6 at the half, so just 2 here in the second half. And they can't leave that guy open. Then Justin Gray got out there in a hurry, and Kulichov goes to the bucket, doesn't go. And then Zach Smith, but he trapped it against the backboard, and that'll be a bucket for Douglas.
Well, you can see just how hard Kulichev is working to try to get inside and get on the free throw line, where he is just really, really good, although he's been very good shooting the ball from the outside today, but trying to get inside where the Owls shoot 30 free throws a game. They're a long way from that total today. Red Raiders just not committing some of those fouls that would put them there, but you've got to dictate tempo, as we talked about at the beginning of the ball game, and that's working the ball around, getting good shots.
Justin Gray knocks down the jumper. That ends a drought of more than 3 minutes since the Red Raiders had a field goal. So they're back up by 2. Justin Gray with 4. Zach Smith with 6 points in the second half for the Red Raiders. He's out there on Evans.
Well, a huge mismatch, and they're going to get Zach for a foul.
That's Zach's 3rd foul. He joins Keenan Evans and Justin Gray now with 3, and that's not a good matchup there with Zach on Evans like that.
No, and the other part of that was you had Devin Thomas down inside trying to defend 6'8" Corey Douglas. So the Red Raiders want to switch that pick when they come up like that in order to prevent the quick shot there, an open shot. But what it does is really sets the mismatch down inside if they can get the ball there, or Evans just kept dribbling inside against Zach to draw the foul.
Evans, a 75% free throw shooter, makes the first. He has 14 points. Kulichov leads the way for Rice with 23. Evans makes them both. As Millinghouse comes into the game, and Devin Thomas will sit for the Red Raiders. Tech led by 3 at the half, are tied at 68.
Red Raiders have not lost a game this season in which they led at halftime, but not many of them have been this tight this late. Now, they did pull away from Utah State down in Cancun in a tight game in that second half.
Nice pass by Livingston to Millinghouse. John, you like it when the big man passes like that?
Well, I do, because he can drive inside and look over the defenders, and then that's all the attention. And Millinghouse coming down the baseline, recipient of that pass from Livingston, who's just had a great game today.
Millinghouse with 9. That was Livingston's 2nd assist of the afternoon. He has 28 points and 4 boards. There it is again. Smith on Evans, and Evans knocks down the 3. He's got 18, and Rice is on top by 1.
I don't think you can push him out far enough. I mean, the range is there, and you've got a 6'8" guy that he's trying to shoot over, and Red Raiders might have been fortunate that Evans didn't draw an opportunity to make that a 4-point play.
Millinghouse kicks it back out to Livingston. Shot clock here is 10 seconds. Keenan Evans spins. What a beautiful move off the glass and in. Keenan Evans with 10 points. Cashaw on the other side for 3. Doesn't go, and Livingston tried to get the rebound, but I believe that might be a foul call on Douglas. It is. Take a look at the last nifty little move here by Evans. Little spin.
Well, and a little help from Zach Smith, who did enough to pick off Marcus Evans, trying to stay with Keenan Evans. That time, Justin Gray and Anthony kind of fighting over the ball, and Douglas got whistled for the foul.
So the lead at 1 for Tech with the ball. Livingston leads all scorers with 28. Keenan Evans with 10. The only 2 Red Raiders in double figures. Keenan's had a really productive second half scoring. There's another spin, and he draws the foul. That'll be on Marcus Evans.
And that's his 3rd. But still over 5 minutes to go in the ball game, and Rice sitting at 71. 71's the most points the Red Raiders have given up this season. Eastern Kentucky had 71 earlier this year, but with 5 minutes to go, hard-pressed to think that Rice will not add to that total.
Keenan Evans at the free throw line. Wow, misses the first.
That's an 84% free throw shooter, too. That's a guy that can't miss under these circumstances.
All right, I stand corrected. They called that foul on Lott, so that's Lott's 2nd personal foul. Evans remains for 2. You see Devin Thomas come back in the game and Keenan Evans will sit. Lead at 2 for the Red Raiders. Again, applying full court pressure. Millinghouse, Gray, and Thomas all in the backcourt.
Well, and Rice has Austin Meyer back in the ballgame, and watching the half-court set if they don't bring him up to set the pick near that free throw line for Marcus Evans.
We're under 5 minutes to go here in this one. Crowd's starting to get into it a little bit.
Set it for Jackson and then bring Kulichov around to drop it off to Evans.
Evans knocks down the 3. He wanted the foul called as well. Thomas got banged up a little bit. Rice back on. By 1, and John, you mentioned this, the most points the Red Raiders have given up. Even in their loss to Auburn, they did not allow this many points.
No, Rice has been able to run the total up with those threes. I mean, that is what they have done. And this is a team that averages 86 a game, and they're clearly on track to get that.
Lott with the steal of Millinghouse. Evans trailing, but Lott takes it himself over Justin Gray. And now Rice back up on top by 3.
Still a one-possession game, but cannot turn the ball over there that led directly to a Rice bucket.
9th turnover of the afternoon for the Red Raiders. Rice with 15 points off of the turnovers. Keenan Evans for 3. Doesn't go, but Livingston with the rebound and the putback. Livingston with 30 closes the lead to 1.
And becoming the first Red Raider this season to get to 30 points in a game. That's a guy with a lot of experience. Graduate transfer from Chris Beard, and man, he has been big today.
Crowd really starting to get into it now. Boy, a nice give to Evans, and he misses the dunk, and then Smith fouled by Meyer. We'll take a break. Rice leads it by 1. You're watching Texas Tech TV on Fox. Rice leads Texas Tech by 1. Zach Smith on the free throw line. Let's go to Adam.
Yeah, guys, in that timeout, some defensive changes possibly to look at on Tech's defensive end. When Kulichov has the ball near the three-point line, if he sets a screen, they will switch there. Anyone else sets a screen, they're going to trap. So keep an eye out for that as we get toward the waning moments of this game.
So Zach Smith now with 7 points. Makes them both, and Tech back on top as Brandsma back on the floor.
All of that scoring by Zach has come in the second half of the ball game, and now up by 1, and Rice out front. This is the guy they want to have his hands on the basketball, Marcus Evans. Here's Kulichov.
Got to watch both Evans and Kulichov. Letcher Ellis back on the floor, and if that's an offensive foul, Letcher Ellis is finished for the afternoon. And he is not very happy, and they're trying to get him off the floor before he gets a technical foul. I believe that's the 3rd charge drawn by the Red Raiders today.
Well, and that's what they talk about doing defensively, and Letcher Ellis just a little bit out of control on the drive, and Zach able to get set up and get run over by Letcher Ellis, who will sit down, the sophomore out of Houston.
He is not happy on the bench, and they had to sit him down over there.
Well, and this gives the Red Raiders a chance to stretch that lead just a bit. Up by 1. Unless it's a 3, obviously it's still a one-possession game, and Rice can get back very quickly. But clearly now, with counting down towards 3 minutes, every possession critically important.
Crowd really getting into it now. Livingston, on his birthday, has 30 points today. Evans kicks it out to Thomas. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Justin Gray gonna have to make something happen. Over Lott, knocks it down. Tech up by 3.
Well, the Red Raiders run that shot clock down, and they work to get the best shot possible. And Justin Gray gets a good look from about 10 feet away.
Gray was 6. But that's a big basket for the Red Raiders. Evans for 3, doesn't go. Smith fighting for the rebound. Douglas comes away with it. Kulichov going to try to make something happen.
Did he travel? Are they going to get a foul?
They're going to call foul, I think, on Keenan Evans. Take another look. I thought he did the jump step. They said Evans fouled him before that. It's been Tech on a 6-0 run. And now Kulichov on the free throw line. Kulichov with 23 points. He's 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Rice 9 of 10 overall and makes the first.
And the 15 three-pointers they've made today is a season best. They had gotten 14 at Omaha, and that's a game in which they scored 100 points on the road. So they can light it up at home or on the road, and this guy, he's got a great stroke. I mean, this is the guy. There's a couple that you don't want the ball in their hands at a critical time, and he's clearly one of them.
Lead back to 1. Tech run a little clock as we near the 2-minute mark. 2:20 to go in this one. Tech led by as many as 9 early on. Rice is led by 4 here in the second half. Evans drives the baseline. Boy, he got in trouble there. Should have kicked it out. Cashaw gets it to Jackson. Here's Marcus Evans, goes to the basket. Nice little up and under, and he draws the foul. Rice back up on top, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
Very good ball movement, but that all started with a poor decision on the Red Raiders' offensive end when Keenan Evans tried to go down the line and just got trapped underneath there and lost the basketball. Rice quickly back up the court. Good ball movement there. They got it to Evans, who's able to drive inside, score, and draw the foul. Evans. John, you got to tell you, Kulichov and Evans, they've combined for 49 points. Kulichov with 25, Evans for 24. These two guys are very, very good players. Well, as advertised. And now, look, Rice is going to sit in the zone here, I think.
Livingston with 30, trying to make it 33, doesn't go. Cashaw with the rebound.
Boy, and that's a quick shot, down by 2. With Rice, the advantage. They've won the battle of the boards today. If they score here, it's going to be tough to beat them.
Rice is out rebounded Tech 29-21. This is a crucial defensive stand for the Red Raiders.
And Evans took a quick look at the shot clock on the other end as that pass was coming to him.
Evans over Thomas for 3, doesn't go, up short, but Rice comes away with the offensive rebound. 11 offensive rebounds for Rice.
They want to get a timeout.
So a timeout with 1 minute and 9 left to go in this one. Evans came up short on the jumper, but Rice does a good job of coming up.
Approach in this ball game that on the offensive end, you wanted people back to keep Rice from being able to get their transition game going, so they have the advantage number-wise on some rebounding opportunities inside on the offensive end. But that big defensive rebound a moment ago, just absolutely huge. Devin
Thomas with a foul. Marcus Evans goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. He already has 24 points today. He is 4-4 from the free throw line, and he makes the first. Rice has been good on the line too, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. You combine that with their 15, yes, I said 15 three-pointers, and that's led to the 3-point lead. But Tech has a chance now to tie it up here on this trip down the floor. Don't have to get the 3, right? Plenty of time left as we're at the 1 minute mark.
Got to get the best shot you can. Got to move that basketball, and Chris Beard's going to stop this and draw up a play to get you the look that the Red Raiders want.
So with 57.6 seconds left, 19 seconds on the shot clock. Huge.
Critical that you scored. As we said, doesn't have to be a 3, but clearly you've got to get a bucket here and maybe draw a foul and give yourself an opportunity at a 3-point play.
So see what Chris Beard drew up during the timeout. Livingston has 30 for the Red Raiders. Shot clock down to 7. Thomas drives, kicks it out to Gray for 3. Comes up short, and Rice with the rebound.
I thought Justin may have been on the line. That might have been a 2 had it gone, but
you have to foul.
Yeah. Not the guy you want at the line, but you got to do something very quickly.
It looks like he got the look he wanted, right? Justin was open in the corner. And now Evans at the free throw line with a chance to make this a 2-possession game. He has 25 points on the afternoon,
which is above his average of 22.6.
And he makes the first. Evans had 7 points at the break. He's got 19 points here in the second half.
He is just an outstanding shooter.
Livingston with 30 is the first Texas Tech player to have 30 points or more in a game since Mike Singletary did it back in 2012. Evans makes the second.
That was in the Big 12 tournament in Oklahoma City. He had quite the game there. Red Raiders can't let this shot clock run down much. They got to shoot the ball.
Now Evans
looking for somebody to get the ball to and had it slapped away.
Marcus Evans got his hand there and knocked that ball away. He's not just a one-hit wonder on offense. Keenan Evans for three is long. Justin Gray with the rebound gets it to Zach Smith. Red Raiders got a score here. Keenan for three, got it. Cuts the lead to 2 and a timeout for the Red Raiders. So Tech trails by 2. It's time for
into the hands of Marcus Evans. Make somebody else get the inbounds pass. Somebody that's not as good a free throw shooter. I'd want Douglas to get this ball if you could force it to him.
Douglas has the least amount of attempts. We get it to Cashaw. Cashaw is a 71% free throw shooter. He has not shot a free throw today. He has 7 points.
And not a guy that's been to the line that many times this season. Only 5 of 7. It's a great percentage, but he hasn't taken many attempts. You got to hope that he can't knock them both down.
So Cashaw at the free throw line, and he misses the first. See Devin Thomas exhorting the crowd. Livingston back on the floor. Millinghouse will sit.
And for Chris Beard, it's offense, defense. Millinghouse, a quicker guard, but you want Livingston, the guy that's lit it up for you today with 30 points back in the game.
Students behind making a tough background. He misses them both. So Tech with a chance to tie it or win it on this possession. 8 seconds. Zach Smith. Livingston puts up the three, and he draws the foul. Well, if he's on the line, is it 2 or 3? So he's up 2 points.
Oh, he's going to have to get them both. That's Marcus Evans that was there defending him. They just weren't going to give him much room to get that shot off. And I think they'll take a look at the replay here to a day like this. This is certainly the guy you want on the line.
Cashaw misses the 2 free throws. And again, Livingston with 30 points on the afternoon makes the first.
I think that's the big one there. Then you don't put the pressure on yourself to have to make the next 2. You've got 2 opportunities to make 1, or maybe you get them both.
Livingston now with 31. That's his career high here at Texas Tech. He had 28 earlier this year. We are tied.
Now you're going to take Zach and Justin off the free throw line, but I don't think you can go far. You can't just give Rice a running effort with the basketball.
Especially Evans. Livingston makes all 3. That's what you ask a senior to do. And the Red Raiders lead it by 1. And Rice calls timeout. Wow. Really. You try to think of Kulichov.
And you don't want to foul and put somebody on the line either.
No, you don't want to make that mistake.
That's up for grabs.
Pass up for grabs. Gray knocks it away. Evans for 3 at the buzzer. Doesn't give her. And the Red Raiders get the win to improve to 7-1 on the season. Marcus Evans with the prayer at the buzzer. Knocked over our